God damn it.
Whenever you guys are ready, I'll do the.
I didn't get everything. I didn't get all the gas out in that burp.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Junk Drawer. We are so happy that you guys are back. I am Samuel, joined with
Tony.
And Brian.
Hello.
It doesn't matter if I'm thinking about it. I'm never prepared for that, because it doesn't roll off smoothly when
Tony.
Tony.
I mean, that's okay. That's why I like speaking first. You know, it's a part of my personality. I like to talk first because I don't want to say anything afterwards.
I feel like
That's where I'm at.
I feel like the way we started is kind of weird. Just because it's like I am joined with, and then there's that pause because like we're waiting for it, but like that is just such a quick thing. If you were to say something like I'm Sam, and then I feel like that would be easier because as soon as you say I'm, then we're gonna be ready to say the next thing. I'm Sam, I'm Tony, I'm Brian. I don't know.
Maybe one of the things we can work on later on.
Yeah. We'll fix that at some point in the future.
I always say joined with because it just seems like something I'm just used to saying at that point.
Yeah, I guess it's fair.
But
I'm joined at the hip with.
I'm joint to the hip.
Oh, there it goes.
That was gross.
That was
rough.
Something.
But that's all
Yep.
right.
Them pancake burps.
The rest of that gas that's where that was. It got like stuck somewhere in my.
We made brunch today.
Yeah, we
that's
did.
really
We
good.
made a shit ton of pancakes.
Yeah, I made quite a bit of pancakes for everybody.
Smoking a pancake.
I had my fantastic crew sitting here trying to make my pancakes. I had a little bit of trouble trying to get them on task, but it actually worked out pretty all right.
I made sausages.
Made sausages. Brian, what'd you do?
I mixed.
You mixed. He mixed it. He mixed it pretty well.
Mix.
Mixed it pretty well. I made blueberry and chocolate pancakes.
I love me some chocolate chip pancakes.
Yeah.
And Swedish pancakes are good too. I make some mean Swedish pancakes that I got from PewDiePie, who got it from a Donald Duck magazine.
That's your task for next time we have brunch together. That's what we're gonna do.
Okay.
There's some things that I'd like to talk about today, which is my project on my podcast. But it's been a second. It's the new year, guys. It's 2021.
It is.
And we're gonna see what this year holds. I think the big jump from things being like, oh, it's after 2020, blah blah, things couldn't get worse, yada yada yada. Things could get worse, most definitely. But I think we just really need to focus on what we can do to make the year
better,
the best for us.
Yeah, definitely. Like it's just one of those things that it's like we're still coming off of a pretty crappy year, so the beginning is of course going to be still rough. Like it's not like it's just all the problems are gonna disappear.
No, you're wrong, Brian. COVID is canceled. We can go out now.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, didn't you guys know that?
It's a new year.
No,
it's a
I
new
didn't know that.
virus.
Thank you.
No. We're done. We're done with COVID.
Oh, just
2020 is over.
Oh, really?
So COVID is no more. COVID's canceled.
Oh, okay,
Oh,
cool.
did cancel culture get COVID as well?
Yeah. Well,
Solid,
no.
solid.
It's just like it's done. Since the year's over, it's done
Oh,
now.
okay. So we're just past all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
COVID's was just a 2020 thing.
Got it, thanks.
It's over now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, as you were saying.
Fuck, I don't even know where I was with that statement at this point. It was mainly just saying, it's gonna take a second to get over it all, but
Yeah.
it'll fix hopefully.
Hopefully. Everyone has so much optimism for this year, and just watch it be even worse.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to be completely real, if it actually does end up going to pretty bad, I'm gonna be with everything that's going on my end. I'm kind of like, this year won't change much for me. I've been doing the same stuff for the longest time. Still trying to get my stuff getting started. I'm just happy, that we started this. So this is, I would say this is our year, but this is everybody's year too, because it's a new one. But like for us, it's growing actually even bigger. We're getting more not publicity. I wish. But more viewers and everything, because we appreciate everybody that tunes into us. Just I'm really hoping that we really take off on our end and actually start incorporating a lot more. I still get a micro USD card so we can
USB.
USD.
USD.
Yeah, it's the small one, the really really small one. You kind of put in the phones and stuff to expand storage. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's for the GoPro.
Universal State Drive. I don't
I-
think that's actually what it stands for, but here I am.
That was very believable, so I'm just gonna say yes.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, most non-Apple phones have it.
Mm-hmm. Silly Apple, and they're not
Apple
working.
Apple just
Apple is its own breed. Let's just be real.
Apple is such a pain in the ass for me. I hate Apple products so
too.
much. Like,
They're a lot of work.
you know, they the company itself has given a lot to the economy, to the industry, I
most
should
definitely.
say. It's given a lot to the industry, but every time that I've ever had an Apple phone, it's always been a pain in the ass. I hated it.
Well, you want to know why they're giving back so much to the economy? Because everyone has to buy a new one every other month.
Yeah.
Because the screen either shatters or they come out with a new one that has slightly more cameras.
Has one more camera than the last.
I think that is a slight inconvenience, to be completely real with you.
The iPhone 12, it has absolutely no differences from the 11, but here's another camera.
Right. The iPhone 12.
Oh,
there's
by
no
the way,
camera,
it's
but the cameras-
$2,000.
Oh.
It's gonna be. Have you seen those like memes of Apple phones? I had this one meme where it was like a future. It was like the Apple, the
96 or
iPhone,
something.
96 or something. And it was like a picture of Bruce Lee holding two iPhones, and they were like really long, and they were
Oh.
connected.
Boy.
They were connected to each other with a lightning cable.
That
So
Yeah.
it was like,
Terrible.
or I think it was like the Apple nunchucks or something.
I love it.
iChucks.
The I chuck my phone down the fucking
Right.
stairs.
That's what they should call their phones.
Nah,
And then honestly, and people who want a Mac, I feel like anybody
Don't
who
know how to
wants like
use a
Mac
computer.
computers are kind of clout chasers
a little bit.
at this point, because what performance does a Mac have as opposed to like something like a PC, as opposed to just a PC, like a Windows computer, regular Windows.
It's really nothing.
I think it's a lot of the work quality kind of things that you like doing. Because like most people.
Well,
have, like,
everyone's
Androids and
everyone's
stuff.
like, oh, it's more secure. I'm like, but it's not. Like, I can get into my friend's MacBook without his password. Like, there's ways around passwords on Apple so easily. Like, it's annoying, frankly. Like, you can just hit like switch user or something like that, and then back out of it. I forgot exactly how to do it. It's been a while. But you just bypass the password completely, and you're in.
Damn.
All of a sudden, it's just like, oh yeah, it's secure. I'm like, no, it's not.
No, there's a lot of things that come with it, though. I mean, like, for me, I like my Samsung because it has a lot of capabilities. Like, I like having the stylus on my phone because I can click, draw, do whatever. If I'm bored at work, I'll just pull out the stylus and start coloring in a coloring book, you know? But, like, even so, like, the stylus itself has capabilities. I think whichever one that's after mine, it actually, you can click it from a distance and you can take a picture with it. So you could be, like, staying with your friends and just click and whatnot. But I think I will say one thing that Apple does, like, top everything else with is probably the camera. That itself, it is pretty
Yeah.
nice, and it has always been.
Yeah, the camera in Apple phones has always been the like main thing.
The one thing that cracks me up though is when Apple started incorporating widgets to their phone.
Oh my
Everybody
God.
started to be like, "Yo, look how organized my thing is." I'm not hating that stuff. Looks dope, and they did it pretty darn well. But the thing is, growing up, and I had widgets and stuff on my phone, like, you have too much stuff on your phone, blah, blah, blah. That's only things for Androids and whatnot. I'm like, it has been like 6 years gone by. Apple just ran out of ideas, and now there's widgets, and people are all color coordinated. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, whatever. But that's fine, I guess.
Now you
Yeah,
like
now it's
you
cool.
like,
Now you
now
want
it's
it.
cool.
Now it's
Yep.
cool.
Now that Apple's done it.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh my God.
dumb.
And like, I'll admit, Androids haven't had the best history when it
Yeah.
comes to cameras.
At all. Mine is still kind
Yeah,
of butt
but that's why I have Google. I have the Google Pixel because
Yeah.
that was the camera that like
Mhm.
kind of stepped up and was like started to be Apple's competitor in terms of the camera. Because I had seen reviews, I had seen commercials, I had seen I had done my research, and it's like, yeah, this is the phone's camera that kind of stacks up to the Apple camera, because there's another phone before it that had a pretty good camera. I don't remember what it was.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember just wanting that one because I was like, okay, I want a good camera, but I don't want Apple. Just anything but Apple, because it's such a pain in the fucking ass. Oh my god.
I always compare it like this. Like, Apple is the rebellious child of the technology world because they don't use Google. They don't run Google engines. They run Safari, which is like the only, software that runs Safari.
Yep.
And it's so annoying because you can't connect anything like properly. It all has to go through like third party and everything, and the apps are different and everything, and they have their. Well, I mean, I guess Google has their own email service as well, but still, like, it's just annoying.
One of the really annoying things, or I guess one of the things that put Android above Apple for me, was being able to like go through your files manually, like without without having to like code your phone or whatever. Like, you could just go into the files and like rearrange them however you want. You couldn't do that with Apple phones. I don't know if you can do it now, but I hated that you couldn't do that because it made certain things more of a pain in the ass. And another thing, like, you could do a lot more with Android phones, really. And again, going back to the camera, they didn't have great cameras back then. And even now, some of the phones don't have great cameras, but know that, I found a phone that does have a good camera and is an Android. It's so nice because, like, all the phones before the phone that I have currently, there's always been something wrong with it that I just couldn't stand. It was just this one thing that like messed it, or like these few little things that made having that phone a pain in the ass. Whatever phone it was, there's always something that made it a pain in the ass. And finally, I have a phone that's just perfect for me. It's great, and I'm so glad I spent the money on it. Like, it was such a worthy investment for me. So, like, if anyone, Google Pixel is a great phone for anyone. If whoever's looking for a phone, I highly recommend Google Pixel. I think they're on the 5th one right now.
Yeah, on the 5th one.
The one. I mean, just like actually, my dad, he actually has 2 phones. He has an Android and he has a Apple. That's something I'll do.
Yeah.
But I think I have the Apple more for my personal phone, most definitely, because it does have great capabilities.
Yeah.
Like we said, but then my Android again still has like tons of other things that if I want to do something else and actually like want to work, because I have a work email, I have a work everything else. Because Apple, it's a fun toy. It's a really fun,
a really fun but expensive toy.
Ass toy. Yeah, you break that joker, you're SOL, man. That stuff is out the
seriously.
Door. But
and Apple's technical support is fucking atrocious.
It is a pain. That is also another pain. Because I can do half the stuff on my stuff by myself because it's so open and available. There's parts for like everything.
Yeah,
everything.
Going back to the cameras too, like, we're getting to the point where they're just gonna brag about their camera for no reason, because pretty much the newest Google Pixel and the newest iPhone, they both shoot 4K. They both shoot true 4K. But like, I saw something on the newest iPhone coming up. They're like, oh, it shoots in 8K. And I'm like, okay, cool. I don't care.
Yeah. I
can't see past 4K. The human eye can't render past 4K.
I don't get the point of 8K. Like,
there's no point.
I guess I didn't really get 4K that much. I mean, it's a better quality, yeah. But like, I never really cared for it that much. Mostly because I guess I haven't really seen true 4K before.
Going, like, let's say you're playing on a regular TV and you switch to a 4K TV. If you have a system or, whatever you're doing,
anything that supports 4K.
You won't notice the difference. The only time you'll notice the difference is side by side. Like, there is a noticeable difference if you put them side by side, but it's, if you're just playing, you're not going to notice.
AK seems like the dumbest thing ever.
It is the
Yeah.
dumbest thing ever.
There's no point to it. You can't fucking see
That's
it.
It's
like,
not.
That's like
You're paying
I
more
also
for
saw-
something you can't see.
I also
Yeah.
saw something like coming up. I think it's a new Samsung TV. They're like, oh, 16K, and I'm like, what? Like, no,
Why?
no. Unless you had a screen that was probably a mile wide.
Like maybe like a movie theater TV or something like that.
Yeah, I'd get it if maybe it was a projector for a huge screen.
Yeah.
Then maybe. But even
Yeah.
then, those projectors run 4K. And they look amazing. I love going to the movies. We talked about this in the first episode.
Yeah.
I love the movies. And it's just like, they run 4K. I wouldn't care if they switched. Because I probably wouldn't notice if I sat down for a movie.
Facts.
Yeah. And what happened to the curved screen TVs? Like I remember those like
They're still
starting to be. Well, yeah, I know they're still around, but those used to be like a big thing, that like most people wanted.
I thought that was dumb though.
I thought, maybe it looked pretty cool if you were to go into, because I've never seen like I've never actually like sat in front of a curved screen TV. Is there really any point to it though? Does it?
For a TV, no. Nothing like above maybe 32 inches. Because when you get to a monitor...
I'm just talking like curving in general.
Curving in general, the only time it helps is like I was getting to, like if it's a monitor and you're playing, any kind of game that requires like you to look around the screen. It's faster because when it's curved, you can actually see it in your peripheral rather than having to turn your head and look at corners of the screen. But that's the only time it helps. And honestly, at that point, it's still a waste of money. Like, just get a regular screen for cheaper.
But like, how many games at that point supports that much?
Pretty much
that much field of view.
Just FPS games.
Yeah. Because I think isn't the point of like third person games so you have that like
That
field
view
of
around
view?
you, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And even with third person games, they have settings to where you can minimize or maximize the range and how you want it.
Yeah.
Like
right.
Division 2. Whenever I play with my group, whenever we play that together, I maximize mine because I play in the back. So I literally focus on making sure I see everything, and pulling everything out, and I wouldn't say giving commands. But
Yeah, I usually like to have my field of view pretty high, as high as I can get it. But like, again, the human eye we can pretty much see. I don't want to say 180. It's probably somewhere close to 180 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
See, if I put my arms out completely just out, I can see out of my peripherals my fingers moving. So we can see about 180 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
But those screens obviously aren't gonna get close to 100 unless you're like in some like special
Unless
made
you're
room.
stupid.
Yeah, but then like even if you do have like those like if you have like 3 curved monitors,
Mm-hmm.
like do games even support that?
I mean, yeah, it's just a normal screen at that point.
Yeah, it's just a bench screen. That's all it is.
But what I'm saying is the field of view. Like, can you even turn it up that high so that you can see like the peripherals?
I don't think so.
See that was my question.
It's
because
more so you don't have to turn your head to look at the stuff. I think that's what they're trying to go for with those. But it's like.
But at that point, I'm not really like turning my head to look at, because I just have to look around the screen with my eye.
Depending on how far back you're sitting. Some people sit like right on their screen.
Which is not good for you. You shouldn't do that. If you do that, it's bad for your eyes.
Get blue light glasses if you're gonna do that.
Yeah, I guess so.
But yeah, I don't know. It's just everything now is a gimmick. Like,
Yeah.
except for those rollable TVs, those look fucking dope.
Oh yeah.
There's the TV that's by Samsung, I think. I think it's by Samsung. I can't remember. I saw it at Best Buy.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically a portrait TV.
Oh,
Like,
I've seen-
portrait.
like it hides itself by looking like an actual painting.
What the hell?
yeah,
How does that work?
It's thin.
Yeah, so it's like it looks like a painting, but like you can change it to like an actual channel and stuff for an actual TV. But if you just leave it alone, it's basically like portrait mode.
It's
Oh,
like
like-
it's like
like
a
it's a s-
desktop. How eventually, if you leave it, it'll just kind of start scrolling through stuff like the background screens.
Oh, so it's like a screensaver basically.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
it
Yeah.
really
It's a
is
TV
really,
with a
really big
screensaver,
screensaver.
which you can program anyways.
Yeah,
Interesting.
Is it cool? Yeah, sure, because it looks sleek. Like you look
Yeah,
at
it
it's
look.
like
I
paper
know what
thin.
you're talking about. It does
Yeah.
look pretty cool, but do I want to spend that much money for it?
No.
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 Would I
that
spend
much
that
money
much
for
money
something
for?
that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Now, if it was the rollable TV, because they're only. I mean, it's still a lot of money, but they're
Those-
only asking. I think like
Those are
1,100.
interesting.
You know.
Cause then you could bring your fucking TV places.
Yeah.
You could always do that, but it's always a pain in the ass
mean,
to
what if
like
you
have
just
to
have a-
pick it up and bring it
What if you
places.
just have a projector?
No,
Okay.
because this one connects to Wi-Fi,
Just
like
saying.
your Wi-Fi from home,
I'm just saying.
anywhere you go.
But also, if you have a projector, you're gonna need to be in a dark room. Like I don't know how
That's
the
true.
I don't know how the rollable TVs work.
Well, that's
but-
true of any screen. Like you can't be in direct sunlight with a screen.
Yeah. That's
Well,
true.
I'm not saying like as opposed to direct
Oh,
sunlight.
you just
I'm
mean
saying,
like a dark room, like
yeah, like you have to turn the lights off.
yeah, because it's got to
close,
throw the light
you know,
onto another
yeah.
surface.
Yeah, because it's gonna be harder to see the projection.
Mhm.
Because the projection is just light, pretty much.
Yeah,
And you know, it's different from having an actual screen in front of you. The screen is going to be brighter, obviously.
yeah.
And again, I don't know how the rollable TVs work. I don't know if they're like screens or if they're more like projections.
I really hope that they are covered by at least a 2-year manufacturer's warranty, because
yeah,
they're gonna. The first rounds of them are going to break.
100%.
They are going to break.
and I'm sure people are going to test them.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
people are going to. I mean, people do it now with everything.
Yeah.
like
Just think about when the Xbox came out. People were blowing vape into it.
okay, they were doing that
Yeah.
more to trash Xbox. People bought them to trash Xbox. That's
Yeah.
something I noticed.
Yeah.
Which is dumb. 'cause
I've
you're
also
giving
seen
them
a
more
video-
money.
Because you
when-
wasted a lot of money.
Yeah.
You
when
not
the-
only wasted a lot of your money, but you're giving your money to Xbox.
Mhm. When the PS 5 came out too, I mean, they're only 2 days apart, but I saw, oh God, I wanted to punch these kids. It was just like, you could tell they're like maybe middle school going into freshman high school
Ew.
age kids sitting in a car with a PS5 across their lap, and they just take out like this McDonald's meal and set it on the PlayStation 5 and like pour ketchup on it and then like dip the fries in the ketchup on the station.
Why?
And I'm like, the fuck? Like,
Why?
it's so stupid.
Why?
Yeah.
Oh, that's even just hearing about it. It pains me. Even if it was I'm not a big fan of Xbox. Even if it was like, just like a new expensive console.
Mhm.
Imagine like doing that with a fucking your fucking new computer tower, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Just you get all that grease and ketchup.
Now,
That breaks my heart.
I will say it irritated me even more because, like, yeah, if it was an Xbox or like you said, my computer tower,
Yeah.
wouldn't bother me. It would still bother me. It wouldn't bother me as much though because it's easier to clean. Why? Both of those are black. The PlayStation 5 is
It's
white,
yeah.
so it's gonna stain. It's gonna stain.
It's not coming
I
off.
mean, a
after
white
that.
controller, if your hands sweat enough, after a while will stain to it. You know, it's disgusting to think about, but it will
Yeah.
stain to like a off-white. What?
I'm still disgusted by the fact that you're saying that a 16-year-old going into high school is probably wasting their parents' money
Yeah.
and doing something for clout. Are you that stupid?
It's not even, dude. That's not even clout. You know how much hate they're gonna get.
It's just I watched a clip. It was one of those reaction videos, people reacting to stuff of kids reacting negatively to gifts that their parents had got them.
Oh, I hate those videos.
I'd have
no.
popped my kid right in the mouth.
I hate watching entitled children.
Oh.
It is the worst feeling because, it's the worst. Like having to, pretty much everything that I've bought with money that I've made, and it's just like it makes me hurt because it's like, you know how many months I'd have to work to get that, like, and be
Yeah.
comfortable with that purchase, and you're just like, nah, this is shit. I'm gonna fucking throw it out the window. I'm like, God.
That's sad. Spoiled children. But like it's things like that. It's something to watch. You know, people enjoy watching it to talk shit about them. You know, it's fun to hate those people.
I don't understand how people just can be so ungrateful to things like that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I mean I agree. But again, and I would feel so bad for those parents. I mean, if they have a lot of money and it's like whatever, I guess fine, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But to be a parent and to spend like a ton of my money to try and make this kid happy, and then just to have them be completely ungrateful, and that would suck.
Not only that, just them be like, I can't believe you did this. I hate you. I hate you. What?
Yeah.
I just spent so much money on you. You don't like the gift. I mean, it's fine that if you don't like the gift,
Yeah,
just be respectful about it.
yeah.
But if you say I hate you for me spending money to try and make you happy with a gift,
And then walk out of my house, you better not walk back in here. Say that much.
yeah, like, that kid's not coming back in.
I
I mean,
said, don't you walk back in here?
I didn't even want a kid in the first place. Get the fuck out of here.
Right?
You were an accident.
You were an
Bogus.
accident.
Bogus.
I just adopt a kid. I can take you back to that orphanage.
Right? You gotta go.
I also hate the people that go so far into the console wars to buy a system just to destroy it, to irritate the other side. Because I've seen a video of a guy dressed as Master Chief with a sledgehammer that just takes a PS5 and smashes it.
Yeah, that's petty.
And I'm just like, the fuck?
That's just petty.
This is a waste of
You could
fucking
have given it to
materials.
somebody.
Yeah, that's a complete waste.
Yeah.
Especially for people who want that stuff and don't have the
that's
kind of money.
Especially with not even the money, the shortage that we're having. We have so many people that want the systems and their kids want the systems, and they've scraped up enough money, just enough money to buy it for their kids.
And they still can't get it
and they can't get it because there's bots buying up all of them online just so they can be resold for, thousands of dollars more.
Yeah.
And people like this that are buying them just to break them.
Yeah,
It's
forget
just
you
like,
guys who do that.
yeah.
I mean, I guess it is your money. You can do whatever you want with them. And you're also giving the opposite. You're giving, like, the competitor your money.
Mm-hmm.
I would, like, whatever. Fucking.
Be the bigger person guy. You don't have to be all this extra garbage.
Yeah.
Like, why would you just waste the money and then giving the money away to whoever else? Yeah, don't buy it, even though I bought it, so you don't buy it. What? It's
I don't know. I have no
dumb. It makes no
bias to
sense.
consoles because I had,
Yeah.
I have all of them,
Yeah.
so it's just like, I like all of them.
Me too.
I just like gaming.
Yeah. If you really really like gaming and you're gonna get the console, you're gonna get whatever game, whatever it is, so you play the game. So you
Yeah.
just sit there.
See, there's people that play consoles just to get into fights with other people that play consoles.
Stupid.
There's PC players who just make fun of console players. And
But
then
then-
there's us who play everything.
But then there's console players who make fun of PC players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of those feuds can get kind of funny,
Yeah,
I
those-
will
those are
admit. Like the one that I saw, like the
that
PC
one guy,
kid, yeah,
the
he's
one
like,
guy who
this console players is a PC setup, and then to the other guy, and he's like, this PC players is a shower.
Bro, I love that. Did him bogus. I don't understand unnecessary hate. You know what I mean? But I mean, don't get me wrong. Jokes all day, every day. And if you can make out a joke out of anything, I have respect for you. Don't get me wrong. There are serious things. You should take it serious. But after you exit that door, I'm probably going to make a joke about it.
Yeah, exactly.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. But just know that it's a joke. All the respect to you. But, yeah. So I really feel like, some people probably should, ease up a little bit. But I understand if things are too sensitive for you. I respect that. And just you should say something. Say, hey, now it's not the time or something. I don't know. What I do know is I have to use the bathroom.
Potty break. We're back from the poopy break.
Yep.
Okay.
My bad. And pancakes hit different.
You're all good. Yeah. I'm going to have to
Real fruity.
shit pretty bad later.
Yeah, understandable. Take another break.
Yep. Mine had chocolate chips in them. And I'm lactose intolerant.
It's that, wow.
I eat cheese anyway. Cheese is too good for me to not eat. I don't drink milk. I usually stay away from ice cream. Every once in a while I'll have ice cream, but I don't know. It's just not my thing, I guess. What?
Let me tell you something.
What?
Brian won't understand it, but let me tell you something. The fact that we, as human beings, cannot grow stronger without the true mentality of hard work, dedication, and the other genius that we provide to humanity. We are not immortal. We must continue to grow and fight and do the things that must be done. So hand me a glass of milk.
Bet. You really want a glass of
Lactose
milk?
intolerant for life. No.
I couldn't tell where that was going. I was like,
I
what?
had no clue
How
where
did
it
this
was
stem
going.
from lactose intolerance?
I found it.
You're welcome.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, no
So
I just-
oh, go ahead.
what?
I just want to bring this up real quick.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say much about it, but there's a certain group of people that's trying to raid the Capitol today. That I just wanted to date this recording just
Yeah.
because I just want to mention that. There's some current events. Anyone, I'm not saying it just because it's this specific group. I'm saying this because, anyone that were to try to do that, that's
Yeah. It's still not.
it's a little crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I won't lie. It's a little bit concerning.
It's a fucking mess. Let's just
Wow.
leave it at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, facts.
Like
Big facts.
everything. Everyone's a baby. Like that's all I got to say.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has their opinions, though. It's just-
That's right. Everyone has their opinions. That's
it's,
fine.
It's just the actions that are taken sometimes are just a little bit.
Yeah,
rowdy.
actions are different from opinions.
Yeah.
Okay, opinions are one thing, actions are another.
Actions are
A
another.
certain half of those opinions holds guns, though.
Yep.
You're not wrong about that. I mean, there are people in the middle that do also hold guns. So
That's
I mean,
true. And
I
those
mean,
people are my friends.
I just believe that just there's always a simpler route than
Violence.
violence. Yeah, violence
Yeah.
is straightforward. But I mean, even from straying from violence, yelling, getting loud, getting people's faces,
Mm.
just stuff like that. Like there's always a different way to take it.
But yeah,
Yeah.
that stems back to like something we were talking about in a previous podcast, though. It's just like people are too sensitive to do that anymore.
Yeah,
It's like
Yeah.
all of a sudden it's assault and you're in jail
true.
for no reason
Yeah.
because they couldn't take your words. And it's just like, God, everyone's just pushover now. Like, seriously.
With that being said, it's a great thing to talk about since I've been wanting to talk about on this podcast.
what is that?
My 2U project on Lumassy Let's Talks. I've been working on an episode actually just recently. I'm not going to disclose who the person is. I've actually got 4 people who contacted me saying that they want their own personal episode to help them throughout the year. So 2U project basically is for anybody who just feels like not as motivated or just wants that little push on the edge. But it's you get a special podcast, I guess, or episode that's dedicated to you. That's why it's called To You, because it's gonna feel
Okay.
like I'm talking to you. So I can say you, or don't have to say you guys or all whoever else. It's for you. You can share it with whoever you want. It's anonymous entirely, unless you want me to say your name, unless you want me to have a nickname for you, so that it's your episode. I completely understand, because you never know. There may
Yeah.
be somebody who wants to actually connect with that, who actually wants to understand what you're feeling, whatever else. But like you sharing is it upon you. I've actually had a few adults saying, I really appreciate if you make one for such and such. And I was like, I will, so just make sure to share it with them, once I finally get the episode out. So
Yeah.
I'll probably get one episode posted, Saturday or something. But if you guys feel like you guys need one, I'll gladly make one for you guys. I mean, of course, we can always just talk about whatever else here, because this is
Right.
this is what we do. I'm excited though. It's slow moving progress, but my year goal is to make sure that this lasts the entire year. And I think actually I might go back to school after that, all depending on where I'm at.
Yeah.
I'll go back to school for therapy.
I do want to go
nice.
back to school as well.
I do as well. Like,
This past year has been fucking.
It has
mess.
been
It's been rough, and I will admit it's not as bad as some other people's lives may have been over this past year. But one thing that has been especially difficult to get back into is school,
yeah.
yeah.
because that happened when I was in my second semester of college, and I actually failed a class.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because because everything went from physical classes to online classes, because it happened in
In the
during
middle,
spring
yeah.
break, and then
Mhm.
they what's the word I'm looking for? They lengthened it. They extended the
Extended.
break, and then they extended it another time, and then they just switched everything to online. And I am not good with online classes. I will tell you that much. I get too distracted.
Same.
If I'm doing homework on my computer, I can do my absolute best, but I will get distracted. Inevitably, I will get distracted trying to do homework. And
You have so much in front of you.
yeah, it's so much easier for me to do like physical classes. When I have a class going on, I want to be in the classroom taking physical notes. It's easier for me to get that to pull that information in, as opposed to being in my room all the time or being in a different room in the house. Just because like I was saying, I'm inevitably gonna get distracted. Like I have never been diagnosed with ADD or ADHD or anything like that. But I wouldn't be surprised if I did actually have ADD, because it's hard for me to stay focused when I'm doing something like homework.
I do.
You know,
I have ADD.
you do?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people do.
It's
I know a lot of people that do, and
I do as well.
The funny part is when people talk about ADHD, I'm like, I know what it is, like the opposite. Because ADHD, you're wired, you're always on the move, you always want to do something. I have ADD, everything seems so slow to me, but then like my focus is just like, hey, what's that?
Yeah.
But it's something you live with. So the people that say they have it, okay,
and haven't actually been.
yeah.
There are a lot of people that do that. They kind of like diagnose
the
themselves.
OCD thing.
With
cracks me up.
OCD, yeah.
Cracks me up.
And I don't think what a lot of people are saying, I don't think they're self-diagnosing OCD. I think they think OCD means something else. And or maybe they're just using that term very lightly, because a lot of the times people that say, "Yeah, my OCD is getting really bad right now. Like that ribbon that isn't tied is really bothering me." Everyone has a form of that. Everyone has a form of, if something's untidy or uneven, obviously that's going to bother you. It's going to bother anyone.
Yeah.
But
you don't like.
OCD stands for obsessive compulsive disorder.
Yes.
Yeah, and it doesn't always mean everything needs to be neat.
No.
That's just the most common thing.
That's what people assume that it just means.
Yeah, I learned about this in my psychology class.
It's a form of routine habits. Pretty much.
Routine habits. So I think one of the examples was a guy had to do this very specific thing every time he saw a Camino. The car, the El Camino?
Oh.
Yeah. Is that what it's called, El Camino, or is it just Camino?
My brain said kimono, and I was like...
No, the car. Like every time he would see that car on the street, he would have to do this very specific thing. Like he did this thing with his hands where he like rubbed it, and then he had to... I don't know. It's just this very specific thing that he had to do with his hands. Yeah, every single time. And it was like taking a toll. Like it doesn't sound like much, but it was taking a toll on his life, because, yeah, some cases of OCD get really intense.
Yeah.
And they need help.
And a more popular example, to just kind of put one out there, something that pretty much everyone should know, is Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory. He has to knock on the door 3 times and say the person's name before he enters. That's like an actual thing. Like, I know somebody with OCD that has a similar tick to that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, luckily it doesn't interfere with her life at all, but it's one of those things that's like, you notice it.
Yeah, and I think my little sister was, diagnosed with like mild OCD. Because she gets like stressed out whenever, she likes the house to be really clean. She gets really stressed out. She gets anxious if it's like if things are like strewn about. Like obviously, you've seen our house. There are obviously some loose things that are just kind of sitting around the house, and she can deal with that. But if it's like a real mess, she feels the need. So she cleans a lot.
Yeah.
She cleans a lot to like kind of help with that. So OCD isn't it might be a common thing, but it's not something that you can self-diagnose. It's a lot different than what most people think it is, and they're kind of doing a disservice to it, to like what OCD actually is, and to people who actually have OCD. It to using that term lightly, just kind of throwing it wherever you think it's fine to say.
Like
It's just good to acknowledge that OCD is something more than you think it is.
One of the more interesting things that actually happened this week. I've been going to go see my my old 4th grade teacher a lot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Because there's a lot of things, I feel like kind of I've been in my own head since the year started and since everything else happened, and I've got more bill issues and whatnot. But that's all on my end. But like, she's really been helping me kind of find myself a bit more.
Yeah.
So I think that's one of the things I kind of want to like share with you guys. Podcast or not, it really doesn't matter. I get this is more a way for get everybody thinking, but I am one of those people that don't really find joy or I guess happiness when they're by themselves. I'm pretty like on autopilot half the time, and it's a pretty interesting thought to have, right?
Yeah.
But like when I'm helping people, I feel at my best. I feel like I'm actually doing something in my life entirely most of the time, which is why I want to go back to school to be therapy. But anyways, but like she's really helped me, finally figure out what it takes to care for myself more, love myself, I guess, and really think to portray how I should be for me and not anybody else. Because I can say about 99% of my life I'm living for other people. Rarely do I have a 1% that's for me, to be 100% certain. Which I have no problems with that at all, because I love to help. I love to like really put my hand out there and offer something to somebody else.
Right.
But like people notice that and they're like, "Dude, are you good?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good. I really am." But when like I'm by myself, it's like,
yeah.
So for anybody
it doesn't register until you are alone.
Yeah.
So in like for anybody that listens to this upcoming episode, to take a time to ask yourself, what is it that you need, and or ask for help. What somebody else could possibly do for you. On a less depressive note, my 4th grade teacher gave me some really hot ramen, and it was amazing. The first one was, and then she gave me one to take home. Instead of it just like immediately being hot, it was just like a searing heat pain.
Oh no.
In my mouth.
Oh my god.
For like 3 hours.
Hot as in spicy, or is hot?
Hot as in spicy.
Ooh.
It was just a searing hot pain.
What kind was it?
It's from like Valley Produce. It comes in like a black bag.
I know exactly which one you're talking about, and it's actually really good.
I put the sauce. I actually sent a picture to my friend Sarah. But I put the sauce in the ramen, and like the first one, it was like it's black bean, so whatever. I put the sauce in the one I took home. That was red. It was red, and I was like, "Oh no!" Did I eat it? Yeah, I was fine. I was like, "Man, this is good. It ain't that bad." Sitting there going at it. When you eat something, you have to keep eating.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like till like halfway through.
Oh my god.
I was like, "That's not bad." I kept eating. I was like, "Oh, cool." I set it down. I'm over here playing Terraria. I'm like,
starting to get a little warm.
I'm getting hot. I'm getting hot.
Oh no, that's like
oh my god.
Yeah, my face started getting hot like in certain spots. Like,
that's like the
Stars.
when me, Jack, Tony, and Mikey went camping. Sounds exactly like the situation I had with the habanero mustard.
you guys are nuts.
My god. What did you eat that with?
It was a hot dog. I had a hot dog.
Oh yeah,
and I
we
put
had
some of
hot
that on there.
dogs.
And it was good. Like the mouth burning was not the issue.
It was like almost the entire trip, wasn't it?
It was the entire trip. Somehow it got under my fingernails. It got like on my.
It was fucking you like whenever we drove somewhere, you had to put your hand out the window.
Yeah,
to soothe the pain.
That's terrible.
Yeah, because my hands would just pulse with just pain because like the
Spicy
acidic
pain.
shit got down under like my
Oh,
fingernail.
that's awful.
And it was like there. It was my lips were on fire. Like my mouth was fine. Like it was like, oh, this is suitable heat. I don't know how it got everywhere. Like, luckily it didn't get some places, but
No,
Yeah.
no.
I remember the day it stopped. It was the last day we were there, and not only that, I took the worst shit in the porta potty.
Oh god.
And as I
Yeah.
was leaving the thing, there was a father and like a little child there, and I'm like, "Oh no, they're walking into a
I
Yeah.
dead
would
zone."
not have felt bad. That is their fault for being there that day.
The planets, the stars aligned for them to be there. They were meant to be there.
Yep. Okay. I'm not speaking bad on anybody.
I'm an asparagus.
Yeah, bro, that's exactly what I'm getting. I'm not
I'm an
speaking bad
asparagus.
on anybody who believes in astrology stuff. Some stuff I think is pretty cool. I really do believe that, sometimes.
I
It was
think it's
interesting
just-
at first.
I think it's a fun, like, little interesting thing to like read about, but like,
I think it does
and most
help.
people don't actually like believe in that. They just like that as like kind of a pastime or a hobby, some
Mhm.
entertainment
I
thing.
think it's one of those things that like really like attach, in a sense, like helps you kind of like figure out, do things differently.
Yeah.
It gives something for you and it gives you an attachment, which I have zero problems with.
Mhm.
I like I said, I do think that is pretty neat. I do think it's pretty cool for giving some type of attachment and stuff like that. But the funniest thing, as you guys know, which I am going to share it on here because I do think it's hilarious, is for people who find justifications for them doing things wrong.
Oh, yeah, that's
I'm
like-
sorry I burned down your house and ran over your
I'm a
dog.
Libra.
Haha, I'm an asparagus. And I'm like, dude, that was the funniest meme ever. And I will continue to use it to the end of my days.
Yeah. But going back to being spicy hot, well, not spicy
Heat.
hot, but
Heat.
yesterday, I got my lip pierced. I got 2 piercings on my bottom lip.
Ooh.
I got snake bites. And I haven't been one like cuz I also have a nose piercing and eyebrow piercing and I have both my ears pierced. I've had experience getting piercings before and they don't really bother me that much. And I knew the most painful one was going to be the nose, and it is. It is the nose that hurts the most. It stings. But when I went in to get my lips pierced, I wasn't nervous because I had experience. I knew what it was going to be like. And I don't have like this. I don't have any fear of needles. Like I'm completely fine with needles.
Not for real.
I've watched my blood being taken. Most people don't like to look at it. Even if they don't have a fear of needles, they
I have
don't
to
like
watch
to look
it.
at it. I do watch it. I just think it's fascinating. Seeing my blood fill in that vial. I think that's
I have to watch it
interesting.
in
I'm
case
like,
they screw up.
that's my blood. My blood is that much blood has been taken out of my body. I don't know. I just find blood fascinating.
They
I
ever
really
say they're
like.
taking my blood, I'm gonna force myself to pass out so they can't.
Oh, no.
But I go in there, and when we get into, it was my friend doing it, so I knew her. It was Courtney who's doing my piercings. I went to her
Oh, your
tattoo
piercing.
shop. Yeah,
That's legit.
They were still talking about blood drawing, and I'm like, wait, what?
no,
Yeah,
no,
said they stuck a needle in me and just started drawing blood.
no. Courtney was the one to do my piercings, but yeah, we went into the room, and I sat down on the chair, and when she was getting the equipment ready, we were just like talking casually, and I look over, and I'm like, okay. My heart is beating kind of fast.
Because you know the person.
I don't know why. No, it's not because it's not like I wasn't nervous because I knew she knew what she was doing. She had experience doing piercings.
It's
she
not because she didn't know what she was doing. It's your body is probably like this person. I get the same way with like if somebody is working on something and I know them. Like I'm more nervous for some reason.
I don't think that's what it was. Like I felt pretty comfortable with her doing my piercings. It wasn't I wasn't nervous about her doing it. It was just like for some reason I was like okay, I mean I'm gonna be fine, and I was fine. It was just like it was kind of for some reason I got nervous. I was like, I don't know why. And we got it done and whatever. And I'm like, okay, that's not it wasn't that bad, And it was cold outside before, so I had a hoodie and I had my jacket on, and I was completely fine inside. When I stood up from the chair, I got suddenly really hot. I started sweating in my hoodie. I'm like, I didn't say anything out loud. I was just like, what the fuck is happening? So like I get around to the counter to
Body shutting down.
I get around to the counter to start paying, and I pay and everything, and I'm like starting to get dizzy. I'm like, it's okay. I just need to make it out to my car, and I'll just sit there for a second until I'm good, right? And then as soon as I start leaving, that's when I see stars. I'm like, oh shit, if I pass out right now, it's going to look really bad. Like, if I pass out, like, I've already had piercings before. Why would I pass out? I felt like I was going to pass out. I don't know why. I didn't pass out. I got outside, and it was like I was stripping as I was going outside. I was taking my jacket off. I took my hoodie off. I'm like, oh, this fucking 30-degree weather feels good. Yeah, it was weird, but then it just like went away. I sat in my car until it went away, and then I was able to drive home safely. So yeah, I don't know why that happened, but it happened.
But we're here today.
Yeah.
Sound.
Also speaking of Brian said his habanero, or what was it? Habanero mustard.
Mustard, yeah.
Yeah, his story of how he used the bathroom and there's a father and son outside. I think it was our first trip to Arkansas. I think it was on our way back. I couldn't hold it in. I needed to take a fat shit.
Oh god.
I go into the gas station that has only one bathroom. I'm in there for quite a while.
It was a half an hour.
Yeah.
My mother texted me. She
Yeah.
timed it. It was a half an hour.
Yeah, I was in there for a while, and you know,
You just
I just knew there were people outside waiting for the bathroom. It didn't matter like who it was. I just knew there was gonna be somebody waiting outside the bathroom.
At that point, you
when
gotta
I
come out
finally
with your hood on.
when I finally get done, I actually clogged the toilet, and you know, I did my best to unclog it. I think I got it mostly unclogged, but
It's either unclogged or it's not. Let's be real.
let's just say when I came out of the bathroom, there was a kid that was sweating and his father with a worried look on his face. And I feel really bad for them. We just booked it out of there.
I will never forget the time we dropped Mikey off
I know where this one is. I know where this one's going.
in
Wait,
Schaumburg.
Wait. So there was a little kids outside just in the heat, just burning up.
I mean, it was in the middle of the summer, but it was inside. He was sweating because he needed to use the bathroom.
That's all bad.
Yeah.
That's all bad.
Yeah, this father was like, "We need to go in there now." They kind of shoved their way past me as I was walking out, and they closed the door, and I'm like speed walking out the gas station. I'm like, "Come on, we gotta go, go." Yeah, because Brian wasn't actually there for that. You were still at your grandparents.
Yeah.
You were still at your grandparents' house in Arkansas, but his mom was taking me and our other friend Mikey home, and we were, yeah. You heard about it though.
I did hear about it in full detail from
That's
both my
hilarious.
mother and Mikey
And me now.
and you now.
Yeah, it was scary.
But yeah, so it was in similar nature. We were
Yeah.
on our way home from dropping Mikey off in Schaumburg, and Tony's like, I gotta go to the bathroom, like, now. So we stopped at this little, once again, a one-bathroom gas station.
Yeah.
And you didn't take that long.
I didn't take that long. I didn't know I'd clog the bathroom. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I had no idea. I just flushed the toilet, washed my hands, and got out of there. Right.
And as we're sitting in the car getting ready to drive away, this little Indian man comes up to the window.
And let me preface this. It's not just because we're not saying an Indian man just because he was worked at a gas station. No. Schaumburg is just.
I'm about to say, I hope not.
Yeah, no. Schaumburg is just a place that has a lot of Indian people. I don't know what other. I don't know how to. And then I mean that in the nicest way possible. I mean, there's just a lot
here in Rockford, like during late hours, there's this black guy and this white lady who work the gas station. I mean, I always come there and say what's up. So it's pretty much a good verification that not.
Ladies who work at gas stations are the nicest people.
They're funny.
I will
Yeah,
tell
they
you,
really are.
they are the nicest people. Like you can tell they're the kind of people that don't take shit from people, but they're also very sweet at
Yeah.
the same time. But to continue this story, yeah, this Indian man working at the gas station knocks on our window. I roll the window down and he's like, "You clogged the toilet." You know, he's like, I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "You clogged the toilet. You need to come, unclog it yourself. I'm not gonna do it." And I'm like,
Didn't he have the plunger? Didn't he walk outside with the plunger?
probably.
I'm pretty sure
He
had
probably
it in his
did.
hand.
He probably
Messed
walked
up.
out with the plunger, and
That is
he
messed
walked me into the bathroom. He's like, "You clogged the toilet. You unclog it."
And this is where the race begins.
Okay, so and like throughout all this, he has this really thick accent. I was having trouble like understanding him, but I was doing my best, right? And I'm trying to unclog the toilet. I'm like, I don't know what to do. And he's like trying to like help me. He's like, "No, you got to do this." And then he like takes the plunger from me, and he's like,
He's
He's
doing
just
it.
fucking unclogging the toilet. And he's like, "Fine, just leave. You're not helping. Just go. Just you done enough
He's like,
damage." And I'm like,
have to
I'm
call
like, I'm
a
s-
plumber.
yeah, he's like, "I have to call a plumber." I'm like, "I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I didn't know I clogged the toilet. I didn't mean to cause you this stress. I'm sorry, dude." He was just so mad at me for clogging the toilet.
toilet.
It was an honest mistake, dude. Like
No, Tony, it's all
You
your
act
fault.
like you could have controlled it
You
too.
could have
Yeah.
held it, Tony. You could have held it.
I
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't even that much either.
Are you sure?
I'm sure. Like it was just one of those
Did you
like
courtesy flush?
no.
No, see, that's the problem.
Meanwhile, I'm
but
sitting outside of Tony's truck.
What's happening?
yeah, Brian's
'cause
just
that's when-
sitting outside.
Because that's
He's-
when I was. It was winter.
It was.
It was
yeah.
winter, and it was when I used to drink energy drinks. So I'm holding two cold monsters in my hand in the middle of winter. Tony's
messed up.
inside unclogging a
Yeah, this
toilet.
guy got so mad. I mean, I felt bad, but at the same time, like
It's pretty funny.
I didn't mean to. I
Yeah.
didn't.
It's said and done. Bet that man still thinks about you today.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
To this day, the toilet's never been unclogged.
he's
The
cursed
plumber
me.
couldn't fix it.
If
They
I
just
ever
put a new
walk in,
toilet in there.
That
if
didn't
I
work.
ever
one's
walk
still
into that
there.
gas station again, he's gonna show me this restraining order he somehow has
No,
against me.
no.
He found,
no.
somehow found out your name.
Nah.
Like,
Uh,
and all the information he needs for a restraining order. Like,
he just got my license plate number and reported me.
yeah. Even
for
though
clogging
we
his
weren't in the
toilet.
truck.
What?
No, we weren't in the truck. We were in the Tahoe.
Were we really?
Yeah.
That we don't even have that anymore. We got rid of it.
Hmm.
Yeah. Well, can't ban me now.
Oh.
Hmm.
Oh.
Tango. I'm sorry, my dog just threw up. We're gonna take a quick break. We will be right back. Well, I think that's a good place to end the episode.
Yeah.
Take it away.
Yeah, I think it is too. We got into some pretty good stuff today, and
Mhm.
I'm really happy that we started this year off right with this episode. So thank you guys for tuning in to Junk Drawer as always. We greatly appreciate it. We greatly appreciate all of you. So make sure to hit that like button and hit subscribe for more content because we are always, always, always happy to provide. Thanks, guys. I'm Sam.
I'm Tony.
I'm Brian.
Have a good one.
Woo!